Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Gray here. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how Red Lobster taught me how not to run a business. So if you've been a fan of this series for a while, you know, we mostly just talk about people. But in recent news, Red Lobster went bankrupt. They talked about how they had to close down hundreds of locations over the past few years and are going to be completely shut down now because they went bankrupt. And I think it's pretty fascinating that this is one of, well, not one of, but this is a pretty big restaurant chain that a lot of people seem to be a fan of early on that kind of just completely got destroyed. So we'll talk about the first thing, which is lack of innovation. So Red Lobster kind of gained its popularity through the 1970s and the 1980s as they were kind of like this family-friendly seafood restaurant that started to commercialize seafood. And the chain, however, kind of started to struggle to innovate as the years went on and didn't really change to customer preferences, both with healthier options while competitors would offer those services, introducing fresh, healthier menu options to adapt to food trends. While Red Lobster's food base kind of just stayed the same, which kind of failed to attract more customers. And as much as I love their Cheddar Bay biscuits, it just, after a while, there seem to be a lot better options on the market. And speaking of better options, that brings me to my second point, the quality of the restaurant itself. It just seems like it completely went downhill over the past few years as it expanded rapidly through the United States. Maintaining consistent food quality just went on the decline. It became a huge challenge for them. Customers started to notice this over the past few years, noticing how the brand fails to provide quality food, and it just continually went down because their quality control had a lot of issues with it. It became a huge challenge with how many restaurants they were actually dealing with to maintain a high level of quality. And so this led to a decline in customer loyalty and trust, because why would you want to eat at a restaurant that tastes so bad? And that brings me to kind of the third point. Because they lost so much customer loyalty and trust, there was a huge over-reliance on promotional deals and coupons and promotions and things like that, to where their kind of seasonal deals became year-round, which continued to further to hurt their brand. As a customer, I'm not going to feel enticed to go to your restaurant if I know the deal is going to be there all year round. What makes the McRib so popular? The fact that it's only here for what feels like 20 minutes, which actually no one's really mad about that. The McRib kind of sucks, but it wouldn't be a special thing if it was here all the time, and you can't claim it's a special thing if it's here all the time. And while they had like an endless shrimp deal and things like this, it originally attracted customers, but as time went on, they realized this deal isn't really going away. And so it devalued the brand and also hurt the company's profit. Because obviously if you're running a good deal as either a loss leader or a mostly loss leader, like it's cutting into your margins dramatically, but you run it all the time, it kind of defeats the purpose. The short-term sales tactics ended up hurting the business more than actually helping it. And among all of this, they continued to ignore the underlying problems that the business was actually facing. So instead of actually focusing on quality or customer relations or innovating and doing all these other things, they just kept throwing these short-term solutions into the mix, and it didn't actually fix much. All of those things combined lead me to my fourth point of they were neglecting the brand and customer feedback. Basically, they did not care about the customer experience, what the customer was actually feeling in their restaurant, how they felt about the food, why weren't they coming back. Red Lobster used to be this like special place to go for families to get a good seafood meal that's at an affordable price. And now it became this kind of trashy place to go, especially in my town. It was disgusting to eat there almost every time. So because they were lowering food costs and cutting corners, lowering portion sizes, not giving out free food if they messed up an order, lowering the food quality, things like that, it kind of adds to the fact that as a customer, they were just neglecting any customer feedback that they would get. So the chain then struggled to maintain an actual, quality brand. Additionally, and this is just a fun point, is the customers kind of felt like the decorations and the decor in each restaurant was very outdated, way overdue, definitely needed something new, kind of Chip and Joanna Gaines, if you know what I mean. But it definitely needed something different. So competitors offer a better value with a better quality experience where they don't cut corners, and that's a big thing. And then that brings me to my last point, is their failure to add a digital presence to their business. So while you have other brands coming up, they have apps, they have discounts, they have rewards, an entire reward system, they have delivery and things like that. Red Lobster was the last to get in on all of that. It took them so long to move into that. And so in an age of digital marketing and online ordering, you need to be a part of that if you want your business to be successful. And obviously we've seen that as it took them so long. That's why they failed. And so they lagged behind and didn't leverage technology in the way other businesses did. And that's kind of where we see the convenience and the customer engagement drop off on their business. And so how does this all apply to our business, right? Well, in your business, are you taking advantage of technology? Are you in a business where that's an option? Are you keeping up with your competitors and outpacing them? Are you innovating? Are you adapting? Is quality important to you? I can go through everything I just mentioned, and when you're looking at it for your business, you want to see, okay, these things are important to us to have a quality business, to provide a quality product to our customers at an affordable price, or not so affordable for some people, and to have good technology and basically a good brand image. And so, though typically most of my videos of this series are about people and how they taught me how to run a business, I have done a few where it's people that have taught me how not to run my business, and I look at all the things they've done wrong. And that's kind of what this video is not just a person, but a brand, what this brand did wrong. They messed up in so many different areas where it's kind of hard to imagine an actual restaurant, an entire chain going under, but somehow they had intense growth through the 70s and the 80s, and now they're dead, they're done, because other brands came up and did all of the opposite of all these things I just listed. So in conclusion, the lessons learned from the Red Lobster's mistakes is as they continued to decline, and they had this cautionary tale for businesses in the food service industry and beyond, examining its missteps, seeing its mistakes and all the places that they failed, gives us a better example of how to present our businesses and how to maintain them. Because while it's good to look at what to do, to have somebody kind of lay out a guide map of what is looking right, it is also good because you want to know the road that you're on. You want to know that you're on the right road. But you also want to make sure that there are guardrails so you know what not to hit. And if you're starting to bump into them, eventually you will go off the road and fall off a cliff. So definitely knowing what not to do. Learning from Red Lobster's mistakes on not continuing to adapt, lower quality, not exceeding expectations, and not meeting the requirements of customers, and losing that brand trust are all factors that kind of play into this on how they lost their long-term success and how you need to avoid these things to create long-term success in your business. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you have enjoyed, drop a like and comment down below what brand or person you want me to talk about next, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios.